Hello there folks, Stampede Valkyrie coming back at you again. This time we am doing a little bit of playing with a recent acquisition, if you want to call it that. More like just stumbled into this one. Needed a little bit of TLC, and I'm going to go ahead and dive into this as I'm running out of time here before it starts to rain on me again. But we're looking at here is a Federal Signal all-light variant of the Streethawk. Without going too far down the rabbit's hole, there are many different variations of this bar, as there are other variations with the many other bars that Federal and other manufacturers make. Trying to squeak around there to give you a 360 of what I'm looking at here. Long story short, got to clean up some domes. I figured I'd tackle the inside first and just make sure that it was worth saving. Doesn't look too bad, maybe a little bit of a cleanup, so on and so forth. We're looking here at the passenger side of the bar, and then as I come across, we have the center, and the center is what's interesting to me, as it has a set of takedowns, as you can see in the lower section, and on the top here, this is a Tomar preemption device. I don't know if this was installed by the upfitter, and shameless, I don't even know if this upfitter even still exists anymore, so let's take a look and get you what his tag on here says. That one says Marriott's emergency equipment. So there you go. You can go take a look and see if he still exists, or she. You never know. I'm not sure. Never heard of them before. As we come across the bar, on the driver's side, we've got the standard 2 rotators. As you can see, we do have an alley. So the bar is optioned for alley. And then we also have the option in the back for a rear flasher. There is a filter on the front flasher, but there is no connection here. And looking at closer, I don't know if there ever was one, as these holes don't look like they've ever been mounted. So I don't know, this bar may have never had front flashers, and instead of putting the blackout plates on them, instead they left filters on them. But as we move across, we talked about the preemption device. You'll note in the front here, these can be flashers, but looks like these are set up to be takedowns. They do function. The preemption device, and then what could be on the back of the bar, which could be another set of flashers, these are also empty. It looks like we've got filters on them, but there's nothing there in regards to any devices in there. So this bar is either been adjusted, or it wasn't optioned out fully like they could do with these bars. And then moving now over here to the passenger side of the bar, we've got the 2 rotators, your typical slat mirror. On the front, same as the other side, there's nothing here in the front. We do have an alley, and then we have a flasher. Now this is your primary wiring block, and then that's the FA3, which is pretty common on these bars. I think these bars first came out from Federal in the late 80s, and they were used, actually some places I still have them, but they were used very heavily. This is kind of like the workhorse bar for Federal from the mid 80s probably through like the mid 2000s. They're affectionately called Streethawk bars. The obvious reason is that when you have everything going at any given point, the amount of amperage this thing draws is quite ridiculous, especially with all these halogen lights. But I just want to make a quick video on this, just covering it. It's kind of interesting. Let's see if I can get the domes on it and maybe have some video of it running. But the domes do need to be polished up. They're actually in pretty good shape overall. Many different, like I said, many different variations of this light. You had the strobe hawks, which were very rare, uncommon with strobe options to them. We had the firehawks, which were usually used as fire bars. Well, actually, firehawks was an option, most likely fire bars, but you never know. You could use them anywhere. And the one big deal with dealing with firehawks is that typically, while they did make black base, or these guys here, black base bars, the firehawks were known for having either white or red. I believe the red was the more commonly found. The white might have been, I don't know, somebody can correct me on that. It might be one way or the other, but you'd see the same exact bar, maybe some different options in it, but a different color base as opposed to a black base bar. But that's it in a nutshell. I mean, there's really not a whole lot for me to cover outside if you want me to delve into the history of these bars. Again, kind of not really all that. It's not my thing. I'm not going to tell you I love these guys, but I don't dislike them either. They're very easy to work on, and for those that are getting into the light, or like to do collecting, or like to work on these things, this is a great bar to actually get in there and cut your teeth on. The parts are still very readily available. They're easy to find, and they're fun to work on. You can actually learn quite a bit about electronics by going through this. But that's in a nutshell. See if I can throw the domes on here, and I'll wrap things up by making maybe a quick video with the flashers going, since I just got that all working. All right, bear with me. All right, I got the domes back on there. It looks like we've got, I'll screw them down at some point. The sun's at my back, so I'm getting a little bit of glare here. But let me go ahead and fire this up. Just give you a quick rundown of what this thing looks like. I'm not going to fire off the preemption emitter, as my camera doesn't really capture the strobe effect all that well, but I'll try to keep it simple, and we'll go from there. So bear with me a moment. And it's off and running. There we go with the 4 rotators. It's got that half mirror on each side. Again, these aren't bad bars. They could be found, well, still can be found fairly cheap. They're starting to dry up, at least good condition ones. This one I would actually consider more on the good condition side. The domes could definitely use a bit of a polish. That's probably the worst of it, honestly. Everything does work on the inside. I don't know if I actually want to spend the time and option it out. I mean, I could always do that, or just leave it as be, or leave it be as it sits. I do like this preemption device, though. That's actually kind of neat. That's just to make the bar kind of unique. That's about it. Maybe a little bit of grease. I'll shut up here for a moment. As you can hear, it's actually kind of quiet. The does need a little bit of grease, but that's it in a nutshell. It's working. It does what it's supposed to do. But on that note, I'll go ahead and wrap this up and put this away. I'm not sure where this is going to go or what I'm going to do with it, but it's at least worth talking about while I've got it sitting here on my little A-frames. Talk to you later, folks. Stampede Valkyrie signing out.